Shalom and welcome to 2 Minutes of Torah. This year is entitled Daf Yomi Can, Megila. The Gemara introduces 3 very important concepts. Number 1, concept of Hasmana Miltahi, whether just designate an object, does that endow with sanctity? For example, I purchased a tefillin bag and I plan to put in my tefillin in it. Does the bag now have Kedusha only after they are put in the tefillin bag? We paskin it does not have Kedusha, only when I have Hasmana designation, which can either be where I actually prepare it for use, according to Mishna Berura, if I just verbally prepare it for use, according to Halacha, even if I possibly just think about it, machshava, only when I have some form of designation, hasmana, plus the actual usage, only then is there sanctity. Then the Gemara introduced another concept called Tashmish mitzvah, such as lulav, sukkah, shofar, where the sanctity is while they're being used for mitzvah and afterwards does not have sanctity, and it could be discarded. The Ramon Siman Chafal discusses what the proper method is for discarding those objects. Then you have Tashmish Kedusha, such as a bag for tefillin. The bag holds a tefillin, it now has Kedusha, and it can be used in only a limited way just for the tefillin. Based on all these concepts, you have a very interesting question. When I have my tefillin, can I put anything in the tefillin bag? To put something in the talit bag, that would be fine, because my talit bag is for my talit that doesn't have Kedusha, and therefore I can have money, I can have keys, I can have other things in the talit bag. Even if I have my tefillin bag in the talit bag, the Mishna Berura explains that the talit bag is a tashmish of mitzvah, and regarding the tefillin, it's only a tashmish of tefillin is indirect, because it is holding the talis, and it's also holding the bag, which is holding the tefillin. So that's not a problem to put anything in a talit bag. The question is, what about in the tefillin bag itself? Is anything I can put in the tefillin bag besides the tefillin? Can I put keys in? Can I put a phone in? Simple pshat would be it's a tashmish kedusha. It has a high level of sanctity, and it can be only used for the tefillin. The Mishna Berura does mention the possibility that a person that always uses its tefillin bag for other objects, so then it's as if he made a tanai. And he said that my tefillin bag is going to be used for other things as well. So therefore, never was endowed with complete kedusha. That is one possibility, and not one to be relied on to assume that if I use it that way, then it's sort of an implicit tanai. That's not a simple one. The Biur Halacha in Lamedala discusses the possibility that if my tefillin are totally covered, when they're in the bag, I have my kufsot on the tefillin like we do, so then it turns out that the tefillin bag is a tashmish to tashmish. The bag is holding the tashmish kedusha of the tefillin, which is the kufsot, and then the kufsot, that's what's holding the tefillin. And if that's the case, then it's a tashmish to tashmish. The only problem is Minchat Elazar writes that that's not so simple, because the kesher of the tefillin are not covered by the kufsa, and those are directly exposed to the bag itself, and therefore that's considered to be a bag is a tashmish to kedusha because it services directly to the kesher of the tefillin. So therefore, that would not necessarily be a heter to use the bag. The Halichot Shlomo, Shlomo's own Orbach, does write that one could put a mirror in the bag, because since they are used to help out the mitzvah of tefillin, place them in the proper way, so then that's not considered to be a bizayon in any way. He does say lechatchila. Shlomo says lechatchila, it is best not to do that, only if there is a tzorach, because it is a bit of a chiddush. Lemais, it's best to keep the tefillin alone in the tefillin bag and nothing else, because the kulas are not simple. One last kula is a Biur Halacha, who mentions that if there's extra room in the tefillin bag, maybe that room was never designated for the tefillin. But also, that's not a simple idea, unless maybe there's a clear keys, a separate pocket in the tefillin bag. But if it's just one big area, it's not so easy to say which area is designated for the tefillin, which ones are not. Shalom.